Welcome. Today we're going to go through the new keyboard and versus how to change from the old one. So on screen right now you can see the new keyboard layout, and I've modified just a few things for the home menu. So the idea behind this whole keyboard structure and the default structure of it is to streamline business. So the home is to have convenient hotkey buttons specifically to fast trade items. So as Ribena, Firewood and Coca-Cola are commonly used here as test items, I've got little laminated PLU cards to scan, so those were my fast items, if you will, so I've put them on the main menu. Now, being that this is a fuel site keyboard, and we do have grocery ones as well, we'll touch on that in just a minute, I've got the car wash as well on the right hand side there, and a couple of fuel functions as well. So this home button is specifically for all of your quick access keys. You can see up here we've got all of our normal functions, so no sale, void, return, second price, so on, and we've got our numpad in the top right. Now, in every screen, this information stays the same. The functions and the numpad always stay the same. So if I click on forecourt, they're still there. Takeaway, they're still in the top there. Same for meals. No matter what one you go into, they're always the same. And that's the purpose of this keyboard. It's to keep it clean, standard, and quick. So, how do we change from the old one to the new one? Well, I'm happy you asked. We're going to cover that now. So we created some custom keyboards and we've made them the default now. So if you go to www.independentsolutions.com.au and when on our website, go to the news, and I've created a news article here called Changing the Old Keyboard to the New Ones. Now please disregard the private part of that. Currently that article is unlisted. By the time that the YouTube video is live and you're listening to these instructions, that will be a published news article. But if you go into it, you'll see the same thumbnail that we have on YouTube. But if you click on keyboards, it will start downloading them. And in this is two keyboard types. One is called Fuel 1-1 and the other is Grocery. So those are the two keyboards specifically for those two industries. Now, if we extract these, doesn't matter where we extract them to, I'm just going to go to the same location, that's fine. And then if we go into our computer, into our downloads, you can see here it's created the folder, and in this case we got the fuel one. I need to go back and do the same thing for the grocery. So if I go back into it, grocery extract to, same location, okay. Go back in, I'll now have my grocery as well. So I'll show this with the grocery keyboard, although it's the same core concept with both. Now, we're about to get stuck into how to do keyboard imports and deleting old ones and stuff like that. Now, if you're not completely comfortable with modifying keyboards yet, there is a link in the top right of the screen right now to a video that we did on keyboard editing. I do recommend watching that before you do this. This is probably the next step or the advanced part, but if you're already comfortable with keyboards, this is totally another step that you guys can take to start making your system look a little bit cleaner and smoother. So, if we bring ProfitTrack over, you can see right now I'm currently using Fuel Keyboard. That's under Setup, Register Settings, Keyboard Layout, Fuel Keyboard. That's the one I'm currently using. So, I've got the two there. I can move them from the Downloads folder if I want to. I'm just going to leave them there for the purpose of this. We choose to import. You can see here all the ones that I was playing with earlier. But we'll go to Downloads, Keyboards, Grocery, Open. Takes a second to go through and do the import. Don't be alarmed at that. It isn't a massive keyboard compared to some of the ones that are out there, but it is still sizable. Alright, now that we're at this screen, we need to give it a name. Most places would just use the store name, so that could be IGA example. I'm going to use YouTube Studio. Import. Now the import as well does take a minute, so don't be alarmed there. There we go. So at this point we can double click on it. It does take a second for this to come up as well. And there we go. So there's the default keyboard for the grocery. Now at this point you can see here Home has got a couple of products already in here, such as ePay, XPOS, the news, coffee, tea, so on. So at this point you could openly just delete these if you don't use them. So XPOS, for example, isn't used, you could just right click delete. And this is where it starts coming into play with if you know how to manage and edit keyboards already. This is where you start going through and modifying it to actually match your business. So again, link in the top right. Go watch how to edit the keyboards, then come back to this. Edit this to replace your current one. Once you're happy with it, so you want it to have the same sort of information that's already on your live one. So here you can see, and it's a horrible one, this one, but You can see I've got Ribena and Firewood and Coca-Cola and Ipe. If that's my standard one on my main keyboard, I'd want that on the new keyboard as well before I swap over. But once I am happy and ready to swap over, close this, go into Setup, Register Settings, Register Setup. In here you can see Fuel Keyboard and YT Studio. So I'm going to change to YT Studio, close, go into my keyboard layouts again, send everything down, wait for that to go through. It's a lot of keyboards that it's just about to send. Now, if your POS is currently trading when you do this, as soon as the sale that is in progress is complete, it will reload the point of sale, or the keyboard specifically. However, if you're not using the point of sale, you'll just see it start updating as soon as it's through to the point of sale. So that's done now, so what I'll do is I'll bring up the point of sale, there we go, and you can see here we're already on the new keyboard. So I've got an ePay menu, which doesn't go anywhere at the moment because I haven't got it linked, which is fine. My fruit, veg, so on. Now, this isn't modified in any way. This is completely the stock template that I got straight off our website and the one that I'll get you guys to get as well. However, if you follow the other video on how to edit keyboards, you can modify this to match or streamline your current one, and it gives you a much cleaner keyboard than the original layouts that was used around 15 years ago. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. It does mean a lot to the channel. If you do have any questions, queries, or if you want someone to go through and either help you with this or do this for you, professional services at Independent Solutions is available to help. We are going to do it at a discounted rate for anyone coming from the YouTube. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Cheers.